Have you ever been in a heated argument, feeling your emotions take over? You're not the only one. Today, we'll explore 5 effective ways to stay calm during conflicts and manage your emotions. In the heat of an argument, it can feel like everything is working against you. Suddenly, you're swept up in a storm of frustration. Here's the truth: staying calm doesn't just happen, it's a choice, and it's something you can control. In this video, we'll share practical strategies rooted in Stoicism. These methods aren't about dodging conflict or suppressing your emotions, they're about managing tough moments with clarity and composure. No need for complex tricks or long meditation sessions. A few simple changes can drastically improve how you deal with disagreements. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss more tips on mastering emotional control. Ready to take charge of your reactions? Let's jump in. Understand that staying calm is a choice. Arguments can drag you into chaos before you even realize it's happening. Your heart pounds, your palms sweat, and words come rushing out uncontrollably. In these moments, it's easy to feel like your emotions are in charge. But here's the reality: staying calm is the best choice, but it doesn't happen on its own. It's a decision you make. Think of emotions during an argument as waves on the ocean. When the storm strikes, the waves surge and crash fiercely. But beneath the surface, there's also a tranquil calm. This is what Stoicism teaches us. Although external forces can stir the waters, we have the power to remain anchored. As Marcus Aurelius said, you control your mind, not the events around you. Once you understand this, you'll discover strength. This strength starts when you realize you don't need to fight the waves, just allow them to pass. The science behind this is straightforward. When faced with conflict, our fight or flight response activates, sending adrenaline through our body and narrowing our focus. This reaction was meant to protect us from physical threats, not verbal arguments, but nowadays, it can turn even a small misunderstanding into an emotional battleground. Pausing for just a moment can interrupt that cycle. You can use this simple practice to reclaim your calm. When you feel the tension building, stop and take one deep breath. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, then exhale for 4. This simple act signals to your brain that you're safe, helping you regain control. Next, ask yourself, what truly matters right now? This question shifts your focus from winning the argument to staying grounded. Another technique is to view the situation from an outsider's perspective. Imagine you're watching the argument unfold from a distance, as if it were between 2 strangers. From this viewpoint, it's easier to identify what's driving the conflict and realize that reacting impulsively will only make things worse. It empowers you to respond with thought, not emotion. Staying calm is always a choice. Even in the heat of an argument, it's not about suppressing your feelings, it's about pausing just long enough to let the storm pass. As you practice this pause, you'll begin to see arguments not as threats, but as chances to strengthen your emotional control. In the end, true control begins when you understand that while you can't control the waves, you can always learn to surf. The power of listening over speaking. Arguments often seem like a race to see who can talk the loudest or make their point the quickest. But what if the key to staying calm isn't about speaking at all? What if the true power lies in listening? Many of us don't realize it, but arguments escalate when both sides focus on planning their next rebuttal rather than understanding each other. Silence, when used intentionally, isn't a weakness, it's a strategy. When emotions run high, the natural reaction is to interrupt or quickly defend yourself. It feels urgent, like if you don't speak now, you'll lose your position. But here's the truth: interrupting only adds fuel to the fire. It shows that you're not listening, which often leaves the other person feeling ignored and frustrated. Listening, however, does the opposite. It reduces tension, calms anger, and often helps you understand the true issue behind the argument. Think of an argument like a dance. You can't move gracefully if you're too focused on planning your next move. Instead, you must stay present and attune yourself to your partner's rhythm. Listening works the same way. It allows you to connect with the deeper emotions and needs behind someone's words. When you listen, you're not just hearing their arguments, you're understanding what's motivating them. You can use this practice to unlock the true power of listening. Try reflective listening. This involves repeating or summarizing what the other person has said, not to imitate them, but to show that you understand. For example, if someone says, "You never consider my opinion when we make decisions," resist the urge to defend yourself immediately. Instead, try responding with something like, "It sounds like you feel I don't take your input seriously. Is that right?" This small shift changes the tone of the conversation. It shows that you're not just reacting, but truly trying to understand, which often softens the other person's stance. Another tool to improve your listening is controlling your body language. Arguments aren't just about words, they're also about what your posture and gestures communicate. Arguments aren't just about words, they're also about what your posture and gestures communicate. Instead, practice open body language, uncross your arms, maintain soft eye contact, and occasionally nod to show you're engaged. These cues signal to the other person that they're safe to express themselves, which often reduces their defensiveness. Stoicism teaches us the importance of controlling our impulses. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Most of what we say and do isn't essential." Ask yourself in every moment, is this necessary? This is especially important in arguments. Often, the urge to speak comes from ego, the need to prove we're right, to defend our pride. But when you listen first, you're not giving up your power, you're using it wisely. You're showing restraint, which is the ultimate form of strength. Next time you're in the middle of a heated discussion, pause and commit to listening more than speaking. Ask yourself, what is this person really trying to tell me? What emotions lie behind their words? You might be surprised by what you find. Listening doesn't just calm the argument, it shifts the focus from conflict to connection. And when you make the other person feel heard, you're much more likely to resolve the issue with mutual respect. In a world where everyone is eager to be understood, be the one who first seeks to understand. True calm isn't about winning the argument or dominating the conversation, it's about controlling yourself so effectively that even silence becomes your most powerful tool. Learn to see an argument as collaboration. Arguments often feel like a battle, a clash of egos where one person wins and the other is left defeated, especially when emotions run high. But what if an argument didn't have to be a battlefield? What if, instead of being opponents, you and the other person could work together as teammates toward a solution? Shifting this mindset is one of the most powerful ways to stay calm and diffuse conflict. Most arguments escalate because they're driven by a me versus you mentality. Each person feels attacked, becomes defensive, and is determined to prove their point. But think of this. If the ultimate goal is to solve a problem, does it really matter who's right? Arguments shouldn't be about winning, they should be about understanding. Marcus Aurelius perfectly captured this when he said, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." This wisdom reminds us that true strength lies in bridging gaps, not creating more. Think of an argument as a boat caught in rough waters. If you and the other person row in opposite directions, the boat just spins in circles, going nowhere. But if you shift your focus and row together toward understanding, compromise, and resolution, you move forward. The storm may still rage around you, but the boat stays steady because you're working as a team. This shift doesn't just calm the argument, it turns it into an opportunity for connection. To begin seeing an argument as collaboration, start by changing your language. Words are powerful, and in the heat of conflict, they can either escalate or disarm. Instead of saying, "You always do this" or "You never listen," which only puts the other person on edge, try asking, "How can we figure this out together?" or "What can we both do to make this better?" This shift from you to we may seem small, but it fosters a sense of partnership. Rather than placing blame, it signals that you're not attacking them but inviting them to solve the problem with you. Another way to approach collaboration is by finding common ground, even when you strongly disagree. For example, let's say you're arguing about how to split household responsibilities. Instead of focusing on what the other person isn't doing, acknowledge what you both value, like a clean home, fairness, and teamwork. Once you establish that shared foundation, you can build solutions together instead of tearing each other down. It's also important to focus on the issue, not the person. Criticizing someone's character, like saying you're so lazy or you're always selfish, turns the argument into a personal attack, which only leads to defensiveness and hostility. Instead, address the behavior or the problem itself. I feel overwhelmed. When the chores pile up, can we figure out a way to split them more evenly? This approach separates the person from the problem, making collaboration possible. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control. You can't control how someone else reacts, but you can control how you approach the conversation. When you prioritize collaboration over competition, you take the first step toward diffusing conflict. That you're no longer trying to win, you're trying to find a solution that works for both sides. This mindset not only calms the argument but also builds trust and strengthens relationships. Ask yourself during your next disagreement, am I trying to understand this person, or am I trying to prove them wrong? If it's the latter, take a moment to pause. Remind yourself that arguments aren't about conquering the other person, they're about finding a way forward together. Collaboration doesn't mean giving up your values or staying silent when you disagree. It means bringing empathy and mutual respect into the conversation. When you learn to see an argument as collaboration, it shifts from a source of stress into an opportunity for growth. That you're no longer opponents on a battlefield, you're teammates rowing toward the same goal. In this shift, you'll find calm, clarity, and solutions that honor both sides. Master your body to master your mind. Your body often tells the truth before your words do. A clenched jaw, raised shoulders, shallow breathing, these physical signs show that tension has taken over long before you're aware of it. In an argument, your body and mind are two sides of the same coin. One feeds the other. If your body is tense, your mind will mirror it, increasing anger or defensiveness, but the reverse is also true. When you calm your body, your mind naturally follows suit. Imagine your body as the steering wheel of your emotions. Arguments are like driving through a storm. If you tighten your grip on the wheel, if your foot presses down hard on the accelerator, the situation can feel more dangerous than it actually is. But try to loosen your grip, slow your pace, and suddenly the storm becomes much more manageable. Stoicism teaches us the importance of controlling our external reactions to maintain inner peace. As Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Mastering your body is one of the most direct ways to exert this power. Begin by focusing on your breath. It's the simplest, most effective tool to bring your body back to a state of calm. When you're in the middle of an argument and feel the tension rising, try this. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 counts. Hold your breath for 4 counts, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 counts. Repeat this cycle 3 or 4 times. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your brain that signals safety to your body, which helps counteract feelings of anger and anxiety. Think of it as a built-in relaxation switch. Next, focus on releasing physical tension. Arguments tend to trigger our fight or flight response, making us tense up without even realizing it. Your shoulders creep toward your ears, your fists clench, and your muscles stiffen, as if preparing for a physical confrontation. Consciously scan your body for these tension signals and release them. Let your shoulders drop down away from your ears. Relax your jaw and open your hands. These subtle adjustments might seem insignificant, but they send a powerful message to your brain: there is no threat here. Your posture also plays a significant role. Consider how you typically position yourself during arguments. Do you cross your arms in a defensive stance? Do you lean forward aggressively? Your posture speaks volumes, potentially escalating or de-escalating the situation. Aim for an open, non-threatening stance. Keep your arms relaxed at your sides or gently resting on a table. Maintain an upright yet relaxed posture, confident but approachable. This not only calms your mind but also signals to the other person that you're not a threat, potentially diffusing their defensiveness. Now, let's talk about your voice. You might not think of it as part of your body, but it carries the emotional undercurrent of your words. A harsh or confrontational tone can trigger defensiveness and escalate tension, while a calm and respectful tone can diffuse tension and encourage a more constructive dialogue. A raised, sharp tone can trigger an equally hostile response, while a steady, measured tone encourages calm. If you feel your voice rising, consciously lower it and slow down your speech. The deliberate act of softening your tone can create a ripple effect, encouraging the other person to mirror your calmness. These physical adjustments, deep breathing, releasing tension, adopting an open posture, and softening your tone may seem like small steps, but their impact is significant. They help you disengage from the fight or flight response that fuels arguments. When your body is relaxed, your mind is free to think clearly, listen actively, and respond thoughtfully. Practicing these techniques outside of arguments is equally important. By making them second nature, you'll be better prepared to stay calm and collected in heated moments. For example, at the end of your day, take a moment to notice how your body has reacted to tension throughout the day. Pay attention to your breathing during stressful moments at work or home. By becoming more mindful of your body's responses to stress, you can build a foundation of calm that you can draw from when conflicts arise. Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in self-control. And mastering your body is a foundational piece of that puzzle. By controlling your physical state through techniques like deep breathing and relaxed posture, you create the conditions for emotional clarity. When your body is calm, your mind follows suit, allowing you to think clearly, respond thoughtfully, and navigate even heated arguments with reason. And when your mind is calm, you can face any argument with the grace and composure of someone who truly understands and wields their own inner power. Let go of the need to win. Winning feels good, doesn't it? Forget the fleeting satisfaction of winning an argument. When emotions are running high, it's tempting to focus on proving yourself right. But here's the truth: in most arguments, there are no real winners. Winning an argument often comes at the expense of something far more valuable: peace, understanding, and connection. Most conflicts aren't about surface-level disagreements. They're driven by ego, the need to be right, and the desire to control the outcome. The need to protect yourself, prove your worth, or avoid feeling wrong, the need to win, can blind you to the bigger picture. Ask yourself, what's the true cost of being right? Does winning this argument strengthen your relationship, or does it create distance and resentment? Does it bring true resolution, or does it leave a trail of hurt feelings and lingering animosity? Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, understood this dilemma well. He famously said, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it?" In other words, the damage caused by our anger in the heat of the moment often far outweighs the initial disagreement that sparked it. Letting go of the need to win doesn't mean giving up or compromising your values. It means shifting your focus from dominating the conversation to understanding the other person's perspective. Think of an argument as a fire. The key to staying calm during arguments lies in recognizing the counterproductive nature of trying to win at all costs. Just like a fire, an argument fueled by ego, defensiveness, and blame will only burn hotter and become more difficult to control. However, when you choose to step back, pause, and let the flames of anger subside, the situation often de-escalates on its own. One way to cultivate this calmness is through humility. Humility doesn't mean diminishing your self-worth or compromising your beliefs. Instead, it's about acknowledging that you might not have all the answers and that there's always potential to learn from others, even during disagreements. This doesn't mean lowering your worth. It means recognizing that your perspective isn't the only one that matters during an argument. Approach the situation with an open mind, willing to consider the other person's viewpoint. Ask yourself, is it possible that I'm missing something here? Could there be some truth to what they're saying? What can I learn from the other person's viewpoint? This mindset creates space for curiosity and empathy, both crucial for resolving conflict. Another powerful tool is learning to say, "You might be right." These 4 words don't mean you're conceding defeat. They demonstrate humility, openness, and a willingness to explore the situation from a different angle. Instead, they signal that you're willing to listen and consider the other person's perspective. This simple phrase has a disarming effect. It diffuses tension and opens the door to a more collaborative conversation. You're not agreeing just to keep the peace, you're showing the other person that you value their input, which often inspires them to do the same. Thinking about the long-term impact of your arguments is also crucial. Is winning this battle worth potentially damaging the relationship in the long run? Can you find a way to address the issue while still preserving the connection? Imagine looking back on this conflict a week, a month, or even a year from now. Will it still matter? In most cases, the answer is no. This realization can be freeing. It reminds you that some battles aren't worth fighting, and that preserving the relationship is often more important than winning the debate. Letting go of the need to win also means being okay with unresolved disagreements. Not every argument needs a perfect resolution. Sometimes, the best outcome is simply to acknowledge the differences, agree to disagree, and move on. This doesn't mean giving up on communication or ignoring the issue entirely. It means recognizing that forcing a resolution when it's not possible can be more harmful than helpful. Ultimately, the goal is to cultivate healthy, respectful communication and build stronger, more resilient relationships. By practicing these techniques, we can navigate conflicts with grace and emerge from them stronger and more connected. Sometimes agreeing to disagree is the best outcome, especially if it means maintaining mutual respect. Stoicism teaches us a valuable lesson: focus on what you can control, and accept that changing someone else's mind isn't always within your power. This applies perfectly to arguments. During your next disagreement, take a moment to ask yourself what truly matters. Is winning this argument worth the potential damage it could cause to your relationship? Is this conversation helping you both grow and learn, or is it simply inflating your ego? These reflections can help you shift your focus from victory to understanding, from conflict to connection. When we prioritize understanding over winning, we create space for compromise and even collaboration. Arguments, when approached thoughtfully, can become opportunities for deeper understanding and personal growth. They can challenge our assumptions, broaden our perspectives, and strengthen our relationships. By choosing calm and conscious engagement over reactive defensiveness, we can turn potential sources of conflict into opportunities for growth and connection. By consciously choosing to listen, reflect, and value the relationship over the need to be right, we pave the way for stronger bonds and healthier communication. Remember, the most meaningful victories are those that strengthen, not weaken, the connections that matter most. Thanks again for watching. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more content that empowers you to take control of your emotions and your life. Stay calm, stay strong, and we'll see you in the next video.